This is a quick video about SI units, SI units in engineering. This is a concept that I think gets a lot of students unstuck, and it's something that I think is just silly. Shouldn't be a problem in our courses. It's basically how do we convert units that are not in our base units to base units. Now, if you can't remember, look at your textbook. But SI units, for instance, for distance, your SI units is meters. For force, your SI units is newtons. For pressure or stress, your SI units is in pascals. So these are the base units you're going to need to do some calculations in. And what you really need to do is take values. So I'm just giving examples here. Here's a couple of examples, 5 different examples that I've got of units that are not in their normal SI units, and I'm going to show you how to convert them. But before we do that, the other thing that we need to understand is the scale, or these letters over here in front of units. So let's just first of all go for milli, and I'm not sure if that's the way you spell it, but anyway, milli normally means divide by 1,000. So it's 1,000th of its SI units. So a millinewton, a millipascal, or a millimeter is 1,000th of a SI unit. Another way that you can represent this is times 10 to the minus 3, which is just saying divide by 1,000. Kilo is timesing it by 1,000. So a kilometer, a kilonewton, or a kilopascal is where you multiply something by 1,000. So, and you can represent that as times 10 to the plus 3. So 3 zeros added. This one is 3 zeros subtracted. After that you get your mega. Kilo, mega is times by 1 million, which is 10 to the 6. And you get a whole bunch more, but I'm not going to go through all the other ones because what I want to do is focus on how do we do these conversions. So if you can just remember these basic understandings, that this is your SI units, these are your different values. These kinds of questions are super simple when you're converting from SI units. So I'm going to do number 1 first. 30 millimeters, milli is divided by 1,000, so 30 millimeters is equal to 30 divided by 1,000 meters. And you can do that in your calculator if you really want to. You just go 30 divided by 1,000, which is equal to 0.03 meters. Alternatively, you can also just, as I said, go back 3 decimal points. So currently my decimal point is over there, and I could go 1, 2, 3. So 0.03 meters is dividing by 1,000. Alright, let's look at number 2. 5 kilopascals. Kilo is timesing by 1,000. So 5 times by 1,000 pascals, which is obviously 5,000 pascals. Alright, next one, number 3. 25.6 kilonewtons. Again, just because it's got a decimal point doesn't mean we do anything different. It's 25.6 multiplied by 1,000 newtons. So it's 25,600 newtons in this example. Now where it gets tricky is when we start squaring the values. Because if we're squaring a value, let's look at this example, number 4, is 5.5 millimeters squared. Well, we said that millimeters is divided by 1,000, but we're doing that twice, so we've got to divide by 1,000 twice. So effectively what we're saying is that for one of those meters to millimeters, we've got to divide by 1,000. So if we've got to do that twice, and millimeters squared is millimeters times millimeters, well then if we're going from meters times meters to millimeters times millimeters, we have to divide by 1,000 twice, or divide by a million, 1,000 times 1,000. So in this case, it's 5.5 divided by 1,000 for the first one, and divided by another 1,000 for the second one. So in this case, 5.5 divided by 1123 divided by 1123 gives us this massively small number. And this is normally where you start going, well, this is a bit silly to be writing out all those zeros. And so effectively that's where these 10 to the times minus 3, 6s and stuff comes into play, engineering way of writing numbers. So instead of us going this is equal to that large number, we just basically say it's times 10 to the minus 6, which is the same way as saying 5.5 divided by a million meters squared. So 5.5 divided by 1,000 divided by 1,000 is 5.5 times 10 to the minus 6 meters squared. We can see that 10 to the minus 3 would be divided by 1,000. 10 to the minus 6 is divided by a million, and so on and so forth. Again, number 5 over here, let's just do, this is an easy one again, 300 megapascals. Well, mega is times by 1,000, so it's 300 times by 1 million, because mega is times 10 to the 6. And so effectively what we're going to get is 300 million pascals. But again, we wouldn't write that as 300 million with all those zeros. We'd probably just 300 times 10 to the 6 pascals in this example, because otherwise we end up writing heaps and heaps of zeros. So you can see there's a difference between that number and this number purely because of that minus. So just make sure that you know how to convert from a millimeter to an SI unit meters, or a pascal or a kilopascal to a pascal, and practice this over and over again. Have a bit of a play with these times 10 to the 3s and minus 3s. Make sure you know your SI units, and you'll find that you get a lot less mistakes in your HSC exam.